That much is clear. Actually, it is clear as the light of day that Zendaya only gets movie roles because of her exotic body. How else do you think she got those big roles as Mary Jane in Spider-Man, as Chani in the Dune movies, or in the new movie Challengers as is some sort of new Serena Williams? That's right, it is only because of her exotic body, and don't let anybody fool you into thinking otherwise. Because Zendaya herself, there's not too much of a difference between her, Anya Taylor Joy, Florence Pugh, and Sydney Sweeney. She just acts as herself in the roles, and the only one she can play is this diva-style character. When I call it that, I'm being nice, because she really is this character that is bitchy and arrogant as a more accurate description of it all. If we start with a role in the Spider-Man movies as Mary Jane, it was one she was casted for because they needed to make the role more modern. In the older days, Mary Jane used to be this all-white maiden in distress kind of character. That is said by Spider-Man and was so naive. With Zendaya, in this role the case is abundantly different, where she is actually the one that is bolder and saves Tom Holland, played by Spider-Man in some of the scenes. Because here, in this case, they are sort of on the same level. But as this more weak teenage character, of course they need Zendaya to be the bolder, more arrogant one to change the Spider-Man universe in order for the character to be more female empowering. Of course, also as Zendaya only can play that kind of arrogant female character high on herself that needs to step on others to make herself feel more powerful. Of course, she may be at the most bitchy during the first movie, but she still retains this type of character style that is insanely arrogant. With the case with the Dune movie where Zendaya cemented her status despite her failing ability to act. It is another example on how she got the role because of her exotic body. And the same case goes with Timothée Chalamet. They needed someone with a bit darker skin and a black woman such as Zendaya that in appearance looks closely Middle Eastern is a perfect fit for this role. But once again, she is not there because of her acting ability, but just because of her exotic body. Basically, Villeneuve has casted her in this role because of his rewriting of the more natural story, where Chani was kind of loving, not this arrogant woman that leaves the room and Paul gets the throne with a different woman in the second movie. According to the book, she actually stayed in the room during the ceremony and didn't walk away. You also see it in the 1984 version where Chani is way more kind to Paul and don't test him all the time with arrogant expressions and everything. But of course, once again, the role is changed for Zendaya to play in it. She just has one act as this super diva that is nothing less from what she does in real life. Basically, in this movie, she is outshined by Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica, but yet nobody talks about the role. Everybody talks about Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, which of course are the two central characters, but not the best actors in this movie. That's really what people fail to see. In the now news released Challenger movie, which basically only has appeal because of Zendaya, who in this movie is involved in a soft car threesome scene that everybody has been hyping up. But it is nothing impressive stuff going on. She is just casted to be the pretty girl in the story that basically is this arrogant character that bashes her companion Art in order for him to win all the time. He does not get any motivational speech. It is just you are a little shit and need to be better. And if one wants to see Zendaya do that type of act, then be my guest. But that's not how you motivate. In this one, she basically makes this player live her dream as she couldn't continue her tennis career, but then instead ends up as a coach. There's a lot of product placement in this movie, and it is not about making quality. It is just about advertising, making it one of the worst movies so far this year. Because it is really only about Zendaya as first this arrogant coach that calls Art a loser. Then she's a younger version where she is the next Serena Williams and she is interested into this threesome, all lured in perhaps by two best mates, and then a threesome stuff where basically the two guys tell the story. She takes a backseat and let them do the acting. In a threesome that of course goes to shit, the way she laughs also, and yeah, just basically acts in the same way as she does in all movies, just shows her limited range, and it just shows you how she only gets movie roles because of her exotic body. Because naturally, in some ways, you could understand it that they tried to use her appeal as a black young woman in this role where she is said to be the next best thing as Serena Williams, and all the complications and lashing out against gas, but at the same time, this movie would be better suited as a more clear-cut tennis movie instead of all this high school drama stuff. But of course, Zendaya needs to be cheating. She needs to lash out. She needs to be this character that is put on a high horse, never coming down from it. And she needs to be made to look like a queen superstar in those movies, which is also the case her more than most, confirming one more time that she only gets movie roles because of her excited body. And that will continue with a clear margin in the years to come.